As the top players in Europe battle the power of the Southern Hemisphere throughout November, the next month is rugby fans' paradise. A new generation of stars will have the opportunity to solidify their position as gifted individuals deserving of the global arena. It promises to be action of the greatest kind. These 12 up-and-coming players are worth keeping an eye on this fall. 1. Noah Kalawari. Location: Wing. Club: Saracens. Age: 19. Country: England. Kalawari has made an incredible breakthrough this season, and there's just one place to start. He scored on his debut after being a late injury replacement for the Saracens bench in their Prem opener against Newcastle. He played one game with Ampthel before exploding with 5 tries against Sale when he rejoined the Saris. He now trains with the England team, but national coach Steve Borthwick has stated that he has every possibility of playing this autumn, possibly making his Test debut against Fiji. Kalawari is only a rookie, but with his speed and knack for the try line, he will soon be playing for England. His ability to fly is one of his strongest suits, as it is a crucial component of the current game. 2. Sacha Feinberg-Mngomezulu. South African nation. Age: 23. Position: fly half back. Club: Stormers. Playing at number 10, Feinberg-Mngomezulu made his debut on the international scene this month against Argentina in the Rugby Championship. He scored 37 points, the most by a South African in a Test match, as the Springboks crushed the Pumas 67-30. He scored a hat-trick of tries, 8 conversions and 2 penalties in his incredible haul, which was reminiscent of New Zealand great Dan Carter's 33-point performance against the Lions in 2005. At the age of 23, Feinberg-Mngomezulu has the ability to run, pass, and kick, and he has the potential to be a true great of the world game. He is expected to be South Africa's dominant force leading up to and during the 2027 World Cup. 3. The Jack Crowley. Ireland. Age: 25. Position: fly half. Club: Munster. Although Crowley is a familiar face in the Test arena, he had to take a back seat as Ireland's number 10 to Sam Prendergast, who is currently the country's new favorite. However, Crowley has positioned himself above Prendergast in the hierarchy to start Ireland's crucial season opener against New Zealand in Chicago. At Croke Park, he was excellent as his Munster team crushed Prendergast's Leinster in a United Rugby Championship match. That encounter was as intense as a Test match and demonstrated once more that Crowley is capable of playing at the greatest level, even though some may have never questioned it. 4. Fabian Holland. New Zealand. Age: 23. Location: Lock. Club: Highlanders. The enormous Holland, who was born in the Netherlands, took up rugby despite the fact that rugby is not very popular in his native country. With the initial intention of staying for just 6 months, he moved to Christchurch, New Zealand in 2019 to study. 6 years later, he remains in Scott Robertson's All Blacks team and is now regarded as one of the team's most promising second rows. Holland is a physically intimidating and massive figure at 6 feet 8 inches and almost 20 years old. He is an enticing potential because of his outstanding engine, physicality in the loose, crisp breakdown technique, and clever handling. 5. Ethan Hooker. South Africa. Age: 22. Position: wing. Club: Sharks. Hooker, a flying winger, is another great rugby name, but this time nominative determinism has a day off. Curtly Arendis and Cheslin Kolbe are just two examples of the talented players that South Africa has on their roster. To field two world-class sides in the 2027 World Cup, Springbok coach Rossi Erasmus is assembling a roster with extraordinary depth. Hooker will fit that description on the wing. Thanks to his strong club play with the Sharks, Hooker has already earned a starting position in Rugby Championship test matches. Despite his name, don't expect Hooker to appear in the scrum or lineout, but expect him to see plenty of action when South Africa plays 5 autumn tests on consecutive weekends. Hooker is fast and takes some catching. 6th, Dan Edwards, Wales, age 22, fly half, club, Ospreys. With Welsh rugby struggling on and off the field, head coach Steve Tandy of New Wales will be leading his home country for the first time this autumn after his appointment in the summer. With players like Rhys Carre and Louis Rees-Zammit returning, his November squad does seem a little stronger. With Ospreys number 10 Edwards is an example of Wales's young talent despite the fact that they lag well behind teams like England. He made his debut during the challenging 2025 Six Nations, and after a successful summer campaign in Japan, he now has the coveted Wales fly-half jersey. At the absolute least, he should stay in the position for Wales's friendly match against Argentina on November 9th. 7th, Makala, Sorelli, age 25, location Centre, club Bayonne. He is the midfield partner of former England centre Manu Tuilagi at a forward-thinking French club in Bayonne, where the Fijian was nominated for the Top 14 Player of the Year award, which was won by England and Toulouse flanker Jack Willis. Additionally, Tuilagi attributed his excellent play in France in part to his teammates' caliber in an interview with a reporter earlier this season. Makala is a prime example of Fiji's offloading and attacking style, which makes them a dangerous team, but he also possesses power. He was a strong performer in Fiji's defeat of England at Twickenham before the 2023 World Cup. Although that shouldn't happen again, Makala will be a player England has to remain quiet about. 8. Capilla Esteban, location flanker, club Bayonne, age 22, country France. Another Bayonne star, Capilla is part of a strong group of young Frenchmen emerging, again. He has played rugby for his country in sevens, but Fabien Galtay has called him up to the 15-a-side team for the first time. Although Capilla is a new player and French's back row is packed, it seems certain that he will receive his first cap, possibly against Fiji. As demonstrated by his recent top 14 victory over Claremont, where he not only scored 2 tries, but also demonstrated his football skills with an incredible chip kick and collection that set up a goal for Mateo Carreras. Back rows shouldn't do that. Capella's performance was almost perfect, according to a match report in the leading French sports weekly, L'Équipe. Because he is so fast, he has been reported to have run 23 miles per hour in a game. Capella has stated that he would be open to playing center or wing and in the back row. 9. Liam McConnell, Ireland, age 21, location flanker, club Edinburgh. Former Scotland under-20s captain McConnell, who has made a splash for Edinburgh, is a new addition to Gregor Townsend's senior team. He has never been scared to put himself out there in training, whether it is at the club or international level. McConnell was extremely athletic from an early age, even fighting men much older than him. His performance in the classic Rugby Bronco fitness test, which requires players to sprint shuttles 20 meters, 40 meters, and 60 meters as fast as they can, made him stand out during the preseason with Edinburgh. His club coach, Sean Everett, has identified McConnell as a potential Scotland captain. 10th. Gordon Carter, Australia, age 24, fly half, club Queensland Reds. Australia is a much better, if not world-class team under Joe Smith, despite their 2-1 loss to the Lions. Considering that Borthwick's team has little time to prepare, they will be a significant threat to England on the opening weekend in the fall. Because Tom Linak has no conviction as the Wallaby number 10 against the Lions, Rugby Australia has welcomed Gordon back after a time.